Hey there, Fletcher from All Things Overlanding here, and today I'm going to be doing a long-term update on my Naturenest rooftop tent. Now, there are a few variants of this and some really close competitors that are basically knockoffs of this tent, and I'm going to link all those in the description down below. So if you're looking for one of these after you watch the video and you kind of get a feel for which one's best for you and if one of these makes sense, it'll be really easy to find those. So check out those links in the description down below. But for today, I'm going to run through my thoughts on this thing. I'm going to tell you kind of how it's worn after about 45-50 nights sleeping in this thing over the last 5 or 6 months. And I'm going to tell you everything that I've added to the tent and any concerns that I have about the tent. So if you want to learn more about the Naturnest tent, whether you have one or you're looking to purchase one, stay tuned.
Let you go. Ooh, let's just pull you closer. Ooh, I can't understand where it came from, but you got it, I got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you give to me.
The main point of this video is to kind of give you my long-term thoughts on the rooftop tent and how it's holding up and what I've added to it, right? Like, what have I done? So I've spent about 50 nights in the Naturnest now, and one of the things that I added that I would definitely recommend is a ladder bag. So when you get the tent, by default, it does not come with a ladder bag, meaning that your ladder, when you're done for the night, if it's been rained on, if you've gotten mud on it, if you've kind of walked up and down the ladder all night, then you have to throw that back in your rooftop tent and it's all dirty. You've got dirt on the feet of it, and then you get all that dirt in your rooftop tent. With this ladder bag, it's about $30-40 on Amazon. I'll put a link, like I said, in the description. This will fit this 7.5 foot ladder. This is what I keep mine in. But it's really, really nice. You can throw your ladder in there, and then you can throw that into the rooftop tent, and it keeps all the dirt and stuff inside the bag so that it keeps your rooftop tent cleaner. So I did add that, and that was definitely worth it. That was one of my favorite things that I've added to the tent. Aside from that, I'm still on the stock mattress, even after 50 nights. A lot of people complain about it on a lot of these tents, most of them, even the bigger name brand tents. You may want to get some sort of a combination memory foam air mattress because, you know, obviously with the clamshell style, it's not going to hold too much in the way of bedding. So you may want to get something like that, but I've been fine with the one that it came with. I actually think it's pretty nice. And it does have a condensation mat that's included with this rooftop tent already, which is also really nice. One other thing that I did want to mention that I did add to the tent, and this will be based on your setup, it'll be based on a number of things, but so I have a 180 awning on the side here. Now mine mounts, and I do get questions about how'd you mount that? Did you mount it to the tent? I did not. I have an extrusion bed rack, and as you can see, they have these kind of cool proprietary bump outs and then poles that go up. My awning is mounted to that, so it actually sits beside the rooftop tent. It kind of kicks it out. So I did not mount mine to the side. Now you do have channel on the side, so if you had the right hardware for it, you definitely could do that. But again, I did not mount mine to the side, but mine is just a 180 awning, which means that here at the back now I have a truck. The reason I have a 180 is because I had an SUV before with a hatch on the rear, so I didn't need a 270 at that time. Well, now I bought the truck. I didn't want to get rid of the 180. I really like it. It's an OVS 180 and it's a really nice awning. So if you're looking for a really nice, quick, freestanding, you know, legless awning, I'll put a link in the description to this thing because it's really great and it's really inexpensive compared to some of the competitors. So it's a really nice awning. But now that I have a pickup truck, I do spend a lot more time at the back of the truck cooking. So one other thing that I did add is you'll see these little eye hooks in these OEM Keter rails that come with it. Now these Keter rails originally were intended for shoe bags, but I also changed up my shoe bag for this last US Bags one because it's waterproof, it's vented at the bottom. You can unzip this part at the bottom here and then you can vent it so that your shoes can dry out. Even if it's raining or snowing outside, then it lets stuff drip down from your shoes so that they can sort of self-clean. But as a result of that, I don't use the Keter rails anymore for anything because I'm not using my shoe bags. So again, I threw 2 of these eye hooks in here, and then I basically will really quickly attach a moonshade to the back. And a moonshade is basically like a portable awning. It comes with a couple of legs, and then I basically attach it to these eye hooks really quick when I get to camp. It comes back off the back. It's about 6x9, 7x9, and it has 2 legs on the back of it. So then that protects the entire back and gives me a ton of room to sort of like operate under here, to cook stuff, to get to my diesel heater. You know, if it was pouring down rain or snowing or something, I could throw that up really quickly back here and then cover this whole back area. So that is another thing that I added. So basically there's the ladder bag, there's the eye hooks back here and the Keter rail and a moonshade, which I highly recommend. And then there's also some sort of an aftermarket shoe bag if you're looking for something like that to have a nicer shoe bag for this tent. So as far as it's holding up, you can see the fabric here is in great shape. I've camped near fires. I've got no burn holes in it or anything like that. All the screens are still like new. They're great. The only sort of wear and tear that I've noticed on the tent is on these brackets where you mount your poles for the awning. If you're not careful, which, you know, sometimes I am and sometimes I'm not, you can sort of, and you can see it up in here, you can chip the powder coating or the painting off of it, and then you do start to get a little bit of rust. Here's the thing though, these are all modular and they're detachable. So you could just undo these and either buy more, or you could take them down and spray paint them, which is probably what I will do. But again, I've had this on my truck. It sits out 24/7, 365. I do not put my truck in the garage. It has to sit in my driveway all the time because it doesn't fit in the garage. But with spending 50 nights in it and using this, you know, 50 different times plus, that's all I've got. But again, my plan is just maybe once every year or two to take those mounts off, hit them with some Rust-Oleum spray paint really quick, and I'll be good to go. So I'm not terribly worried about it, but that is one of the things that has been happening wear and tear wise. Aside from that though, all the fabric's been great. The mattress is great. The awning is holding up great. I've got no tears, no problems with the grommets or anything like that where you attach your poles. Everything's holding up really, really well. So I'm really impressed with this tent. Again, hopefully that's helpful for you guys, but I just wanted to give you kind of a walk around to show you how it's holding up. All right, guys, so that will do it for my sort of long-term update on the Naturenest rooftop tent. Again, as I showed you, there's really just, if any, tiny little minor concerns, like a little bit of rust on some of the brackets and stuff, but gas strut's great. Zipper's great, material great, awning grommet's great. Everything's been fine, right? So, I mean, again, considering how much time I've spent in this, how many times I've opened it and closed it, you know, filled it with my breath and condensation at night, gotten poured rain on, hailed on, put it up for a month and then opened it up for the first time a month later. It's been really great. I actually really love this tent. So let's kind of wrap this up with just a couple of really quick spot answers to questions that I've seen a few times on my other videos. One is the weight. People ask a lot about the weight. It's about 170 pounds, so it is a little bit on the heavy side. Just be aware of that. Again, I've been through Wyoming, Wisconsin, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, off-roading, all kinds of stuff with that big old tent high up there over my cab and on my taller bed rack. No problems. It's been fine. It hasn't moved an inch, and you can feel the weight, but it's not bad. So that is one question that I get a lot, is what's the weight? About 170 pounds. Another one that I get is how long does it take to open and close? Now, I did make a video to that, and I'll put a card up here that literally I just did it on camera, full, you know, normal speed so you could see it, but it was right at around 2 minutes taking my time. So if you go really fast, you could probably get it up in about a minute and a half, but if you go slow and sort of take your time, including all the awning poles and putting the ladder out and everything, it's about 2 minutes to set up. I'd say it's about the same to tear down, maybe a little quicker. It kind of depends, right? I've done it so many times now that it's second nature to me and I'm really fast. But even if you're new to it, a couple minutes is setup time. Another question that I get a lot is, how long is the ladder? It is a 7.5 foot ladder. So just FYI, it's not a 10 foot or a 12 foot, it's a 7.5 foot ladder, just so you know. And then another one that I've seen a couple times is, you know, I kind of extend my ladder all the way out. People have said I wouldn't trust it at that angle and stuff. Again, I've spent about 50 nights in it. I'm about a 230 pound, 6'2" guy. So I'm not a little guy, but I'm not a huge guy. I haven't had any problems with it at all. It seems to be a very strong ladder, but if you wanted to kind of, you know, click it up a little bit, you could get it in closer to the vehicle. I've just never really had any problems with that, but it was something that came up, so I wanted to call it out. So hopefully that answers kind of the frequently asked questions. My final sort of thoughts on the tent are that it's a fantastic buy for the money. I think it's probably one of the best buys out there on the market, which is kind of why I snuck in and bought it, you know, back in June, was because I saw it. I couldn't believe the price. I almost thought it was going to go away. I actually went to Alibaba and looked at it on there, and it wasn't that much cheaper on there. Plus you got a much longer turnaround time and, you know, absolutely no recourse if something were to go wrong or you got a damaged one. So that's why I just went with the Amazon route. It's, you know, I got 5% back on my Amazon credit card, and it was a pretty nice deal overall. So again, I hope that this was helpful for you guys, but if you got value out of the video, click that like button. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to click that subscribe button, click the bell to be notified when new videos drop. I do a couple videos every week. I try and do camping stuff, overlanding stuff, gear reviews. So make sure to click that subscribe button. I do have patches and stickers for sale on my website too. They're all camping/overlanding themed. So if you are interested in any of that stuff, stickers or patches, click through that link down below and check that out. And then last but not least, I have a Patreon page. We've got a 24/7 Discord where we all chat about our rigs and camping trips and that sort of thing. And then there's the Newbie Overlanders Facebook group, totally free to join. Tons of awesome members in there, but different than the big groups where you're not really going to get bullied, right? You're allowed to ask questions and stuff. People are jerks, they get kicked out. So if you're looking for a newbie-friendly Facebook group to learn about overlanding, that would be a great place for you as well, and we'd love to have you. So again, I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
you.